already shared with you, so no issues. Going back to the same project. Okay. So this assignment is about the propagation delay of gate. Right? So new source Verilog file, and here I am going to say gate delay. Okay, gate delay is the name of my file, and I have three inputs A, B, C, and output F. This is the output F. Create next, finish. Okay, then I'll say assign. Okay. You can try to draw this circuit in your copies, because today I don't intend to draw it on my whiteboard. You can just draw a rough sketch of what is happening in this. In F equal to temp and C. Okay, so this is effectively a 3-input AND gate, A and B and C, but I am using a cascade. So first A and B is cascaded. So A and B is one AND gate. Its output is given to the next AND gate. And I need to declare the internal variable wire temp. Okay. Save this. And where is this module? Gate delay. Set as the top module. Anyway, I don't intend to synthesize this much because it's very straightforward design. I'm more interested to show you the test bench. Okay, because the objective is test bench and seeing the delay, which is not visible in the synthesized circuit. So I'll go to the gate delay and I'll say add new source, Verilog test fixture, gate delay test. Gate delay, I have to select this, click next, finish. Okay, so A, B, C are the inputs, and I will wait for 10 nanoseconds and give another set of inputs, A equal to 1, so that the output changes, because it's a 3-input AND I want to check what happens. So here you can see the first AND gate is going to function and the second will take some time, okay, because the second's output remains 0 because of this, but the first AND gate's output will become 1, and in the third combination I will give both of them giving a value of 1, and if you want a fourth one, you can make the first AND gate give a value of 0, and the second one, it doesn't matter, because it would, whatever it is, the answer will be 0. Okay. Right, so these are the 2-3 test cases. And if I do the waveform simulation, you can imagine what would happen. Or let me just show it to you quickly. We'll finish this. Gate delay test, simulate behavioral model. So, okay, so this is how it's working. A, B, and C. So the value of F will, initially everything is 0. So output is 0. After that, the first AND gate is giving, but we cannot see the variable temp in the test case. So you just have to infer. So this temp would have been 0. So temp and C makes it 0. And in the next 10 nanoseconds here, the F goes high. You can see F goes high here, because all of them were 1, and then again because one variable became 0, because A became 0, the output became 0. Okay, so straightforward. Now I want to give you a flavor of adding control to this. So I'll close this file and go again to the test bench. Okay, there's an initial begin here. So in this place, I'm going to write, I want to see how the changes are happening with time. So there is a command called monitor. So you have to write $monitor. It's like a printf statement in C. Okay, but it is going to tell you what happens at which time instance. So I'm writing a $time, which will print the current time instance, and then a set of variables which I want to read. So I want to see value of A, B, A equal to % binary value. If it's a binary number, you can also say %D if you want to read multi-bit variables as a decimal. B equal to %B equal to %B and F equal to %B. Then list A, B, C, F. Okay. Now I will again simulate this with the same things and we will see the effect of this monitor. Okay. So where do we see this? At the bottom here. You can see here at time 0, all of them were 0, so F was 0. At time 10, I changed A and B. C was 0, so F was 0. So there is nothing printed from 0 to 10, between 0 and 10, because no change happened. So monitor command only prints something when any one variable changes, or at least one should change for it to print. So at 0, everything changed. Then this was an instantaneous execution, and at time 10 I gave another set of inputs. It caused an instantaneous change in the output F. So everything happened at time instant 10, but in real life it doesn't happen so, correct? Each gate has a finite amount of delay, so we need to see how we can incorporate that in our design. So I'm going back to my Verilog file .v, and here in the assign statement I'm inserting a delay by writing a hash followed by a number. I'm writing a hash 2 in front of this temp. Okay, you can write the same thing even here. So wherever you wish to insert, right now I'm just demonstrating for temp. So the first AND gate is going to give output after a delay of 2 time units, and hence if the output of AND gate is going to affect the second AND gate, then even that would get affected in a cascaded manner, right? Because something else changed, and so that affects the future gates. So let me save this and again try to simulate, but before that I need to close this waveform window and open a new one. What happened here? Okay, it's saying. So that's a standard feature in Xilinx. If you have opened this waveform window, it says that it's already open. Just make a small change in the file, save it again and run. Okay, let's concentrate only at the bottom here. Why no change has happened? The F. Oh, okay, the temp I cannot see. Okay, no problem, but I could only identify the difference here. Look here, at time 30, the F was 1. F was equal to 1 because of some previous value, and F is going to change now because of the change in the first gate. Because the first gate's input is going to affect the value of F, that delay of 2 nanoseconds. At 30, earlier at 30, I got the output of F equal to 0. If you remember the same monitor statement which was existing earlier. At 30, we had A0, B1, C1, and F was 0. Okay, same instantaneously it had become 0. But now at 30, we changed these 3. Okay, out of these 3, only A has changed essentially. Only A has changed, B and C are same, and F was 1. It remains 1. So that value, signal value is already there on the wire, and nothing is changing it right now. But what happens once A is made 0, A and B are getting ANDed, and it takes 2 nanoseconds or 2 units of time for it to have an effect. So after 2 units of time, the output of A and B becomes 0. And now when the 0 is ANDed with C equal to 1, it results in F becoming 0. Okay, so the monitor statement has shown us two outputs for the instantiation at 30. At 30, we already earlier had only one line. Right now we have two things generated because the f changed. If we could observe the temp variable, we would have seen that at 32 time instant, the temp goes from 1 to 0. Similarly, the f became 1 to 0. Now, you see, the trick here to identify or to show this behavior is to give the correct type of input combination. The first three combinations which I gave could not visualize the delay, whereas the second combination did, because there was a cascading effect. The one which was slower later on affected the subsequent stages. You're seeing the point? Okay, so one person doing a change affects this next person, and then that one affects the third one, and so on. So this is a ripple effect of the delay. We can also try to insert some delay here. Can put a #2 before f, and so to be able to see the effect, now let us see if I have some change here. Okay, good. So here I have, because f was earlier not defined, it was not an instantaneous operation. So f was don't care in the beginning, because both the gates were having a delay of 2 nanoseconds. At the end of 2 time units, f became operational, it became 0. Again, the next input combination did not change f, so we have got all the outputs ready at time instant 10. Nothing happens at 12 because no variable is changing. Although input variable changed, but the intermediate variables, nothing which affects the output changed in the circuit, and hence the answer is ready at 10. See the next one. At the next set of inputs, I made everything 1. Now, because all were 1, this is going to change the output of f from 0 to 1. The first two gates have got no change. So A is A1, B1, A1, B1. So the first AND gate, nothing changes, but the second AND gate's input has changed, and this gate's change will be affected after 2 time units onto the output, and hence at 22, f has become 1. Okay, next is we changed A. We changed A, and what has this changed? This changed the first gate. The first gate after 2 time units went from 1 to 0. Because it became 0, it affects the next gate, which is ANDing with the C, and hence f will get affected. So at time instant 32, the first gate gave an output of 0, which is not seen here because the variable temp cannot be modeled. And then this affects the second gate. Hence our answer comes at time instant 34. Okay. So that's the concept of a delay. You can see it here. Let's see. What happened here? Okay. Even in the waveform, you can have a feel of what is changing. A changed, V changed. Okay. So 2 is a very small times. This is 20 and that's 22. So you can keep a delay of 5 and simulate for longer time to visualize this. So you can practice all these things. So today's assignment is related to this work. Okay. So I'll just clear this notepad. So in today's assignment, you've already designed the ripple carry adder, which is a 4-bit adder, correct? So you had an FA0, FA1, FA2, and FA3. Okay, so these were the 4 adders which we constructed in the previous assignment. So today's assignment is an increment on that, so that's why we can finish it on time. These are the 4 adders. The output of this, so one output of FA0, just write it. So FA0 gives an output S0, which is the sum 0 bit, and it gives a C0, which is a carry out of the first stage, or C out 0. Okay, this goes in as input to FA1. This C out of first is going as a carry in to the next adder. So if suppose I just have these two adders in the cascade, and this is giving an output of C out of 1 and S1. Okay. So these are my two output sum bits, and this will be my final carry out, assuming my carry in is 0. So in the beginning, when you give this, S0 answer will come instantaneously, but FA's answer will come. So FA's answer is S1 and C out 1. These will come, the final answer, when the C out 0 has already reached it. If it doesn't reach, it will assume it as 0 or some old value, create S1 and C out 1. It will create the carry out and the sum out, but these may change if the C out 0 coming to it will change. Seeing the effect? So there is a cascade. If the C out affects the FA1, FA1's output will change. The same thing, if FA1's C out 1 is going to change FA2's output, its output will change. Hence, in a ripple carry adder, the first stages, FA0's carry out might affect all the stages up to FA3, and you might get the answer much later. Okay, so the answer will come much late if there is a cascading effect of the change of one output on the second stage. So you have to demonstrate this in today's assignment. How will you do this? We had the full adder module. So you had the full adder module, and in that you had the assign statement, sum equal to something, and C out equal to some statement. Okay. So before this, you just have to add a delay of 2 hash 2. Palash, the delay was 2, correct? Both have 2.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Full adder delay 2.
Okay, so this you don't have to do it in the ripple carry. This is in the full adder module. Once you do it in this, each instance FA0, FA1, FA2 will have an internal delay of 2 time units to generate the sum out and the carry out. Clear? Okay, so in your full adder.v file, you just have to add #2 here. Okay, that's the part of the assignment. That's all work you have to do. But the main work is in the test bench. So in the test bench, you have to write the test cases, which will result in the final output changing at So main work is to design good test cases and show that the final result of the output will change at different time instance. So the final answer should come at after a delay of 2 units. So when will the answer come after 2 units? If nothing else is changing and only one variable somewhere changes, which takes just 2 units of time, either the sum changes or the carry out changes, and your answer is ready within 2 time units. Then you have to generate test cases which demonstrate answer comes after 4 time units, 6 time units, and 8 time units, because 8 is the maximum. Okay, you have 4 stages, and each stage is, if you can see here, this is the sum out comes after 2, which is already there. I mean, it might change, but they both are in parallel. Sum and carry are happening in parallel. Both are taking 2 time units. So overall, the delay of the full adder is 2 units of time. So this will take 2 units of time, plus 2, plus 2, and plus 2. Okay. So total after 8 units, your answer will come in the worst case. And when will that happen? If this one affects this one, this one, this one. That is for the worst case. The best case is your answer comes immediately. None of the full adders affect each other. Answer is ready in 2 units of time. The second is it comes after 4 units of time. So that says your answer has come after 2 units, but probably this stage or probably this stage got affected by the previous one. Okay, so FA0 might affect FA1. FA1 sum will change, but the carry doesn't change. If the carry doesn't change, FA2 will not get affected, and hence the remaining is okay. Another possibility is FA2, FA2's sum changes, but carry doesn't change. But if sum doesn't change but carry changes, it might affect FA3. Okay, so you have to try all these binary combinations of adding 4-bit numbers, seeing which carry out affects which stage, and then generate test inputs which will give outputs like this. And you have to use the monitor command as I had demonstrated in today's demo to show that the output changes after time units. Again, one small point here is that in theoretically, the answer might come after 8 time units, but it also depends on what value is lingering on the signal earlier. For example, in this, theoretically, the answer was possible in 2 time units, but there was no value on F, so it took time. In the previous, not this monitor statement, but just before this, I had put a delay only on 1 gate. That time, the previous value of F, so if this value is already 0 and the new value is again 0, it doesn't affect. If this value was a 0, making it to 1 would have affected. But if this value was something else, so again, this delay will depend on what was the old value sitting on that wire. Okay, so what you can do is you start from scratch, you start from a 0 and then give an input. So just give 2 pairs, the first and the second, then another pair, so that you can independently see them. So if you give them all in a sequence, you will not be able to analyze them because of the lingering effect of values on the signal wires. Okay, so that's the assignment. So this assignment will demonstrate to you that ripple carry adders are very slow adders because of this ripple effect. Okay, so that is part 1. So yeah, part 1 is starting from here. Part 1 is that you have to modify your full adder to insert this #2 delay and then write the test bench to do this and demonstrate to us that you are able to generate test cases which give the final answer after 2 time units. This is one possibility. The second is after 4. So you have to demonstrate all 4 to us. You can use pen and paper, think critically, try to find out the test cases and then show it in the waveform. Okay. So this is just going to take half an hour for you. That's the estimated time which is normally taken by on average by the students. So I am estimating a 30 minutes time limit. You can take more time, no problem, but I'm giving you an estimate. So this can be done in 30 minutes and then you have to get it evaluated and so on. So that would take some time. So suppose we start this at 3:45. By 4:15 onwards, you can start the evaluation. Okay. Then while the part is being evaluated, the part 2 is a carry look ahead adder. Carry look ahead adders goodness is that it creates, see why did this ripple carry adder got delayed? Because of the C outs. The C outs of 1 kept on affecting the full adders in the in front of it. So if I can have the carry generated in parallel to the sum, that is carry out of this is not going to affect my FA1. My FA1 has got complete information about any effects that FA0 might give it, and therefore it can generate the output immediately. Okay, so there will be no ripple effect. So that is the carry look ahead adder. Okay, so this has got a generate input and then a propagate, if you can remember. Right, so for the carry generation, it has a generate and the propagate Boolean expression. So these expressions are used to generate the S0 to S3 and all the C outs. Okay. Okay. So you can look at the expressions in your textbooks, though that's not an exam. So you can always look up information about how to do this. So these are around 4 to 6 expressions. You have to write them simply in the Verilog file using an assigned statement and repeat the same thing. Show again the same test cases and demonstrate that carry look ahead adder is faster than a ripple carry adder. Okay, so this will take you another 30 minutes maximum because the expressions are straightforward. And so this is the rough estimate. You can take more time, but normally it is possible. So you can start doing this, say around, even if you start it at 4:30, by 5 you can be done and get evaluated before 6. Okay, so that's my rough estimate for today's work. Because everything else is ready-made. So I think you will be able to do that. Okay. So with this, I will stop today's explanation.